by 2 games over St. Louis, and by 5.5 games over the 4th-place Reds. The Reds have won 4 in a row. They just swept Houston. The Brewers have lost 3 in a row. They were just swept by the Padres. The Cubs are home today against the Mets. The Brewers are home today against the Reds. Those are big games for Cincinnati and Milwaukee. You could see more shifting or more separation within that division after this weekend. And in the National League West, we've got the Dodgers continuing. They won their 50th game last night. Yeah, first team to 50 wins. The largest run differential in the major leagues, 126. Check this out. And they're home this weekend, beginning today against the Giants. 4 games against the Giants. They have a 30-9 home record. Clearly the best home record in the major leagues. And now they're home to play this weekend against the last place San Francisco Giants. The Dodgers lead the Rockies by 10 games in the division, and they lead the Diamondbacks and the Padres each by 12. As we look at the wild card in the National League. And it's a little interesting here. You've got Milwaukee leading the wild card, the first one. You've got Colorado, and Philadelphia right there. Well, wait, I said that wrong. Colorado and Philadelphia, percentage-wise, are actually below, but they have all 3 losses, the same losses, 34. So you got Milwaukee with 34 losses, Colorado 34 losses, Philadelphia 34 losses. The Cardinals trail in the second wild card by 1 game. The Diamondbacks by 2 games, the Padres by 2 games, and the Nationals trail in the second wild card by only 4 games, which is another reason why Washington, they can't afford to be sellers right now. Can you imagine what it might do to their fan base if they were to start trading some of their superstars away? Wow.
So now, thank you first of all to Lou and Andy. Nothing But Fantasy will directly follow this show. I'm running over. I had too much information this morning, but some of you, and Lou and Andy said it was okay, I could pitch until my arm fell off. Well, it's getting close. I'll go ahead and tell you. So be in the bullpen. It's about time to come in. But I did want to go back to a conversation I had with Craig Mish earlier this week. We talked about Adbert Alzolay, and we talked about Brendan McKay, 2 prospect pitchers, Alzolay for the Cubs, McKay for the Rays. And a lot of you said, let's hear that again. So here goes. My conversation with Craig Mish about Alzolay and Brendan McKay earlier this week.
Arnie in North Carolina. Hello, Arnie. How are you?
Craig, it's a pleasure talking with you. I'm doing well today, and I hope you are.
Well, thank you, Arnie, for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm good friends with Lenny Melnick, and I know you and he are good friends, so it's almost like we know each other. But
well, thank you.
Lenny,
yeah.
I guess.
Lenny is a great friend, and I believe he'll be on the show this week as well. I got to confirm that, but thank you for mentioning him as well.
Well, you're welcome. I've got a question for you, Craig, and you have more insight probably than I. Adberto Alzolay for the Cubs, the AAA pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading an article in The Athletic, and it just reads as if they're sneaky with him, but that he may be up soon. And I wanted to get your thoughts on what you might have an opinion, your opine on Alzolay. I may not pronounce his name right, but I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, look, the thing with the Cubs is that Hendricks is hurt, so I think that there's always a chance they can call Alzolay up, but he hasn't been, I think, as impressive as they've wanted him to be. He started off the season this year and basically had a cup of coffee just to kind of get back on his feet in Iowa. He struck out 46 batters in 32 innings. He's still giving up home runs, and that's kind of the issue for him. But I think that I would say he would be more of an emergency start at this point for the Cubs. A couple of things would have to go wrong. And remember, Arnie, they still have Yu Darvish there that they have to pay. They've already moved on from Chatwood, and they still haven't called this kid up. So my guess is you'll see him this season. I still think in most leagues you can probably wait a few weeks or even a month before you pick him up. But there's no doubt we'll see him at the end of the season. I just can't say exactly what he's going to be. I know that other teams have scouted him in terms of trade, and they've fallen a little bit short. The only thing with him, Arnie, is that his secondary stuff is okay, but he's got to throw hard in order to succeed at the big league level, like 96, 97, 98 miles an hour. So they do have one pitcher, I think, inevitably that's going to be better than him in Marquez. But Alzolay would be the kind of pitcher I think that you're going to see at some point, maybe after the deadline. Arnie, the other thing, too, the Cubs will go ahead and get a pitcher if they need it. So I think 2020 is when you see him make his 25 starts. I think this year, if you ask me how many starts you think he'll make between now and September or the end of October, I'd say 5 or 6, somewhere along that.
And can I ask one more question about
Sure.
another player? I saw him pitch this weekend. I'm in North Carolina, and as you know, Judge and Stanton were rehabbing in Durham this weekend.
Yep.
I went and watched those guys miss everything, except, Stanton did hit one bomb. Otherwise, their timing wasn't good, but it's getting better.
Right.
But I watched Brendan McKay pitch for the Rays. That's where I'm going with this. And they had an opener even at Durham on Saturday. McKay came in, pitched 5 innings, struck out 7. He looked really, really good. And I guess my question is, what are we waiting for in Tampa for Brendan McKay? Because he looked really good Saturday.
Yeah, he I think has a greater opportunity there because of the organization that he pitches for. And Arnie, you know that no matter what Tampa does, the acquisitions that they make are not going to be big financial ones. My guess is that you will see McKay this year, and I think that I would add him in a lot of leagues. Now, obviously, the hitting is something that's going to have to be worked on here. I don't know that he's going to come up and be an Ohtani in terms of power, but there's no doubt that he has the pitching acumen to do it. I think in 15-team leagues or AL onlys, I'd pick him up now. Tampa Bay gets to the deadline, and we're talking about a month from now. They need a pitcher, and depending on the health of Glasnow, it could be McKay. So I think
I really appreciate.
So that was the interview I had with Craig earlier in the week. Now, that was prior to Alzolay getting the word he may be called up. Of course, he's planning to pitch on Thursday. What I take from all that is this could be a short-term visit. If he performs like Mitch Keller, then, he's probably going back to AAA. If he pitches well, he may make it the next start while we wait for Hendricks to come back, or he may be a long guy out of the pen. So keep your eye on that Thursday game today with the Cubs, with Alzolay. It's a great watch. Must-see TV, right? So once again, after me, nothing but fantasy, Lou and Andy. Thank you guys for being patient with me, allowing me to run over. I really have enjoyed the show today. Thanks to Lenny, all you guys in the chat room. I've already named you. Without you guys in the chat room, well, there is no show, okay? So support your host. If you're a guest Bryant, please register, log in. Zelmo, good morning. Unholy Toledo, Timothy Hooker, The Real Double A. It's great to see all of you guys, including that guy, amongst others. Stay tuned for Lou and Andy, Nothing But Fantasy. Go watch some baseball, see how Alzolay does, and enjoy it. Thanks from Arnie, Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. Have a great day, everybody.